Hello, and today I have a little example running the ArcGis SDK, and as part of this what we can see here is we have an Unreal solution with a plugin which has to be done within the project at the moment and not outside of the project, as the sample code is all local references, relative references, and you can see here that we have different types of things that we're trying to load from the ArcGis services which are public for the demo. There is no secured versions for going live. There are no private supplies or APIs to be called either. So you can see a selection of different visualizations of the world and the elevation of the land, and then you could see the various other types of opportunities such as streets, topographic, different views of the maps. We have the constructor and the component, and then we've also got a begin play. When we press run on the Unreal editor, it will create the map, and as part of the map we can see the key, we can see getting the base layer, setting it, if terrain elevations evolved and enabled, then it will run it, and anything that's done in the demo, as soon as you run it you cannot change anything on the fly at all. So you have to select this advance. Then there is generate a number of the other layers, which we'll see in a minute. And then you can see the extent is not available at the moment. That's the range around where you're looking. Then we have a camera, rotation and where it is. And then we have a view, and the view we're setting the map, and we're also setting a camera pointing to the map. And then finally the sort sample pawn. This pawn controls the camera of where it goes. And then we're trying to find the light and the skylight. These are two different types of light. And then we are positioning them in different places. So as mentioned before, we have a switch statement where we're getting whatever type of view that we're selected, and then we've got the various types of possible layer. So let's scroll down, generate map extent, rectangular, square. Changing these values do seem to crash the API at the moment. This is set for June 2020 or Q2 2020. They don't say exactly when or what is covered. And you can see at the moment I'm trying to run this, and it's just popped up with the Unreal screen, and you can see it's hit the constructor for the map. And what you don't see at the moment is that it is spawning up Unreal, which I'm going to do a second video in a minute, and you can see it's trying to be instantiated. So now I'm going to stop this video, and then you're going to see me running within Unreal and the demo itself. So what we're doing at the moment, we are running the API right now, and I've currently got this set to local, which means that we have a flat world. You can see the speed is quite good at this moment. But as we get closer, there's a lot more to load and there's a lot more detail, and you can see, depending on my scrolling and panning speed, the level of detail is slowly changing. But you can also see, if you look closely, the borders change. These are in tiles and they're not it's not seamless as of yet. This is due to be launched of Q2 2021. The roadmap is not visible. I guess it's all based on what their capabilities are, and you can see that it's not fully easily migrating from one level of detail to another. The speed at which this migrates is dictated by the algorithm and also your internet speed. So at any time this information is coming from the ArcGis servers, and you can see, like magic, wherever I'm looking, this is a problem to be aware of. If I look around, you can see there is a delay. There's no pre-caching as of yet, both in terms of what could be below me. It only happens when I'm looking, and also what happens when what's around me. So if I zoom up, you can see artifacts, and you can see everything's loading in tiles. This may be a different experience looking at the street view or various other types, because those should be more vector based. It should be a nicer experience to shift between these different environments. This is running on an i7 laptop with 16 gig of RAM. The example when I try to run this and the lab demo, I had a couple of problems and it's not coming up with the textures straight away, so I've got to investigate what that is. There might be some Unreal change I need to consider. But what they did say, given when they gave a demo, as there is a webinar discussing what they've done so far, that they were developing Unity and Unreal at the same time. So the functionality and code is essentially the same, but the quality really does vary between Unity not being as good as this Unreal version. Secondly, the vendor ArcGis said that symbology won't be supported for a long time, as they need to do the basic things. So symbology, I'm assuming in this case, meaning the various visual icons that would be needed. Officially, they do not support any kind of VR headsets or augmented reality, but I can try and put this in a VR headset anyway, but there is no obvious means to use it. So whatever there is right now, we would just have to interact with it and try to get the data out. So as you can see here, as part of this experience, in the distance you do have a little bit of aliasing because of the land in the distance. And in terms of the API, there doesn't appear to be much documentation yet. I think it would be a case of looking through the source code and figuring out what connects to what. And there's obviously no other things like importing different data types like GML or ESRI the supplier's shape files or anything like that. It's just anything that you see here. And that's it for today's demo.